Yeah! Dude. Since when did sitting crisscross applesauce destroy my body? Being 29 years old. Yo, what's up, you freaking nerds? So I just got this SSL Bus Plus, and I know you're a nerd because the only people who are going to watch this are studio guys who probably already have some hardware gear, and this is really just the cherry on the top that builds your perfect nerd ice cream sundae. But it's okay, I'm a nerd too. Don't get your pocket protector all up in a bunch. Let's get into this thing. I'm on your side. I'm on your team. If we all went to school together, we sit at the same lunch table. So right now I have this SSL Bus compressor sort of dialed in. I'm just going to play real quick so you can hear it before we really dive into all the settings and stuff. I have my distortion set, I have my compression and expansion set, I have my attack and release set, and I'm hitting about like 5 to 6 dB of gain reduction, so a little bit more aggressive than usual, and I have my makeup gain set, and it's set to just classic stereo. All right, so this is how it sounds. This is like a little pop punk track I'm working on for a client, so check it out. Heavier part here. Off. Okay, so if you're not listening on headphones or speakers, you're probably hearing like a 5% difference, but if you are listening on some nice speakers or some nice headphones, you'll hear that the low end gets a little bit distorted out. You'll hear that the mix is subtly being compressed. I have it pretty set aggressive, but I'm only hitting about 5 or 6 dB, so it's not going to be super transparent, but it's going to give it that modern sort of like pumping feeling when the drums are really slamming. And this is a really good demo to do this video on because things are really slamming here, and there's spots for things to hit at the same time so that the compressor really reacts to a strong punch in the mix. But okay, so without rambling too long, I'm gonna move the camera a little closer and let's just mess with all the settings and see how crazy we can make this thing sound. I'll try to do a little bit of commentary as I'm going, but I know that's super annoying. When I'm watching review videos, I just want to hear the thing. And also, this isn't going to be a corny guitar riff. You're going to have an actual slamming rock track to listen back to this thing, and we're going to push it so you can actually hear what's going on with the compressor. We're not going to be like touching a couple dB here and there. I've really never felt this close to another audio engineer in my whole life. I'm sorry, not the right time? Okay. All right, so first we have this distortion setting. Let's set it so that it's cranked all the way so that you have only dirty signal, and then we'll turn it on and off in this next heavy part right here. On. And off. Sounds really good, but let's bring it back down a little bit. It's a little bit too gritty for this mix. I think it would sound really good on like a more chill track, sort of bringing out a lot of vibe, a lot of character. Low threshold is going to change the reaction to the low end and how much it's hitting the actual circuit. So if you want the low end to be less intense, then I would engage this. And then feedback does something with the sidechain, bringing it a little bit more forward in the mix. Let's mess with the threshold here and we'll really crank it. Attack, of course. I have it set to a super fast release right now, but let's get it to a lot slower. You have 2 different auto settings, and I know people love auto. I don't, but a lot of people do. Auto 1, auto 2. And then of course you have the ratio. Let's crank this thing, go to 20, let's limit it. Now you can really hear what's happening with the compressor and what's pumping. And then you have this negative 2.5, negative 1.5, and negative 0.5, which I guess is just super aggressive compression, or negative compression, I'm not sure, expansion. But to me, it makes sense that it goes from 20, which is basically a brick wall, and then I guess at that point, it starts going the opposite way. Sounds good. I'm going to leave it set to 4 to 1 ratio. ratio right now. And then you just have the makeup, and if you click it in, you can do it after the EQ, or if you hold it in, you can switch it to fine mode, and it's smaller increments of volume change. Then you have your sidechain, so it's only going to take in information above, looks like 120 hertz, and that'll give you a cleaner compression signal. That way it's not compressing all that low end and getting confused. And then you have a mix knob, which could be kind of cool if you use this on just a drum bus or something. You can blend it in and really crank it. And right here you have LF gain for the G comp. Really giving it a nice fat low end, so you can mess with that or you can turn it off. Sort of pick what style of compressor you want to have that low end. And then these two knobs in the distortion mode are honestly the reason why I got this thing. So if you turn it to the left, you're going to activate a compressor. If you turn it to the right, you're going to activate an expander, which is kind of cool. So you have your low filter and you have your high filter. And then if you want to switch the actual, if you want to switch the actual frequencies that it's changing on, you press in both these modes and then you can change how low or how high it's going, and there's a chart in the manual to show you what frequency it's setting at. So the right is the high filter and the left is the low filter. So now that you learned one side, there's some cool modes here that you can do. There is a sidechain stereo. There is a dual mono, which is really interesting because then each side has their own compressor. So if you're doing like a Beatles track or like an OG throwback track where your drums are only on the right side and you have your vocals on the left side or something weird like that, then you can do dual mono and you'll have two compressors. Or you can split your signal and just have two compressors for the price of one. The price of one is really expensive, but gotta justify this to my girlfriend somehow. And then you also have mid-side, which could be really cool for making your mix sound a lot more wide if you want to compress the sides completely differently than the mono information. But for now, I really just like classic stereo. And also you have these three knobs here. That's going to affect how the compressors are being reacted to. The high filter, it's going to change the shelf into a bell, and then the compressor is going to react a lot faster if you click in these guys. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just mess with the settings for a little bit so you can really hear this thing in action, and I won't be talking this time. Yeah, dude, so that's the SSL Bus Plus. It sounds awesome. Honestly, I was really in between the classic Xlogic G-Bus compressor, but that only really does one thing. I know that it'll hold its value and it'll keep probably going up in value because they're so rare. But for around the same price, give or take, you can get the SSL Bus Plus for $2,500, $3,000, whatever. And you get a ton more features. There's a ton more ways to use it. And with the distortion setting and the compression and the expansion, you really can't beat this unit. It really is a bang for your buck. I know that it's a big buck, but it's totally worth it for me to have because I'm going to throw it on every single mix that I'm doing. So hopefully this holds its value for a long time. You guys need to start buying them and making posts about them because we could totally do that AMC stock market thing that they did on Robinhood, and we could all become millionaires if we just keep hyping this thing up. But honestly, it is really cool. I'm happy that I got it, and I think it slams. So let me know what you guys thought about that video. If you like this nerdier stuff, I'll keep doing it. I don't really want to be like a gear review channel because I think there's a ton of them, but anytime I get a piece that I think is really cool, I'll definitely make a video on it, and we can have a little heart-to-heart discussion about it. All right, homie, so get back to work. I know you're just watching YouTube videos, taking a break from whatever mix or tuning vocals, and it's making you want to blow your brains out, but get back to work. I'll catch you guys next time. I kind of want to do another video where I'm creating a song from scratch and maybe doing a different genre, but all right, I got to get back to work too, so I'll catch you guys later. Peace.